has got to be demoralizing. All right, fellas, come on, A's. We can do this. We can get back on track here. Rays versus the Astros. Rays win that one. That's another big scoring game. 13-3 there. Nationals versus the Mariners. Nationals on top there, 9-3. Braves versus the Phillies. They had a doubleheader yesterday. First game, 9-3, and then the next one, the Braves won that one, and then Phillies won the next one, 5-4. Heading locally here in the Auburn Journal, no flash in the pan. Core of area girls soccer team together since 2014 goes out ranked number 1 in the state. The 49er United 6-9 Flash girls soccer team has stuck together through thick and thin. The majority of the team has been playing together for more than 10 years, and last Friday night, May 16th, they went out on top as the number 1 team in the state with a 4-0 victory over East Bay Alliance at Railhead Park in Auburn. Coach Kara Dieterich started the team in 2014 when some players were just 7 years old. Seeing it was apparent that several kids needed more than just recreational youth soccer. Dieterich says the majority of the team attends Placer or Colfax high schools, with some players from Oakmont and West Park. Because everyone is local, Dieterich says the team has formed a special bond she believes is the key factor in their success. So congrats, ladies, to the 49er United Flash Girls soccer team going out number 1 in their league. That's fantastic. Producer Shane, have you heard of the documentary Welcome to Wrexham?
I have not.
Oh, it's very good. It's speaking of soccer, or football as they call it. Rob McElhaney and Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, those Rob McElhaney and Ryan Reynolds bought a soccer team in Wales over there, and they're documenting their journey of going through and what it's like to run a football club. And I got to tell you, it's fantastic. It's on Hulu if you have it, or FX if you get FX. But do yourself a favor, give it a watch.
Okay,
it is fantastic. We'll be back with your KAHI weather right after this.
Sunrise Natural Foods, those 55 and better, save 15% every Wednesday, and everyone can save on hundreds of products throughout the store every day. Save 25% on all Buried Treasure products, 30% on all new Chapter products, and 30% on all Now products. These are just a few of the everyday savings you'll find at Sunrise Natural Foods in Auburn and in Roseville, or at sunrisenaturalfoods.net. Sunrise Natural Foods, made with life's best ingredients.
Friday weather forecast, heat advisory in effect for today. Mostly sunny skies in the mid-90s. A southwest wind about 10 miles per hour. Light winds tonight, 65 to 70 for the low. Mostly clear skies. It'll be hot. It'll be sunny on Saturday. Mid to upper 90s expected. Now it's going to cool down a little bit as we head into Sunday. It'll be partly to mostly sunny in the mid to upper 80s. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
34 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:34 a.m. One more thing from the sports ball section. The Giants are going to start a series against the Miami, I almost said Dolphins. What is it? The Marlins? Anyway, they're going to be playing Miami today. That's going to be at 4:10 p.m. So catch all of the action here on KAHI. Giants versus Miami today at 4:10 p.m. All right, we're going to head back to JT in the morning. We'll be back with your KAHI News and California Ag Report after this.
And try to help you through what is just such a gaslit time in America right now, where the media opinion makers, and part of it, and I said this about the story, this Jonah Goldberg nonsense that went on. And by the way, latest couple of columns have published on this very subject. I was telling you about this subject in form. I was going back and forth with my editor, who was trying to follow me in the briar patch of how the media is gaslighting you and only telling you 1 out of every 3 words so that they can tell a better story. Not the full story, but now it's, Elon Musk is abandoning Doge and he's just this is the most ridiculous bit. So it's David Fahrenthold, who's supposedly an investigative reporter with the New York Times. You would think somebody whose job it is to be investigator would know the details of a story.
From Musk was always that, yes, there's going to be disruption. Yes, there's going to be pain. People are going to lose their jobs. But it's in the service of something greater. When I'm done, you'll see the reason I had to make all of these great disruptions. And now he's basically leaving without fulfilling that.
So, real good job of investigating. See, not an investigative journalist, but I know that Elon Musk is leaving because his 130-day tenure as a special government employee is done. And if he was to stay longer than that, I'm sure we'd have Dana Bash and David Farenthold and Jonah Goldberg on the same desk saying, this is a constitutional crisis. And again, this is bad. But it's not a flaw. It's a feature. They want you to distrust the media. So when they have promotional videos like the one they did in Russia, did you see this one in Russia about the fellow that was killed in an attack? I mean, it's. Can we make 1984 fiction again, please? Putin's government is now doing exactly what Big Brother was doing. Look at this video of the war hero and in the distrust in the media is exactly what they want. So that when somebody says the emperor has no clothes, you'll be like, you're part of the media. What do we know from you? Or, when they say, hey, there was weaponized virus sprayed on us. You're just trying to make Joe Biden look bad. No, I'm not. I'm trying to say there was a weaponized virus. I've got all the points from 6 different places, and I've laid it all out for you here. And I'm not an investigative journalist, and I found that out just by listening to people. And we paid for the weaponized virus. Oh, now you're in trouble. Now we're going to come get you. So this media malpractice is indicative of this text message that comes in. Good morning, Joe. Not asking this on a surface level, but aren't you disappointed with the FBI reports, but also how they were supposed to gut and clean out the bad eggs? Have they not cleaned out bad eggs? I've not seen anyone saying, oh, there's still corruption in the FBI. I'm sure there are some of the people who participated in some level with things like the Steele dossier that may have dodged Director Patel and Assistant Director Bongino. But I think I can let it play out. Now, the bigger question, and be careful of this is what they want. They want people storming the FBI saying, I want to see, insert name of documents, January 6th, Epstein, Steele dossier. And there's an important rule regarding courtrooms. I've served on a few juries, so I have at least some understanding of evidence that a jury is supposed to be able to see. And in a justice system, in a free country's justice system, based on the idea of innocent until proven guilty, the collection of evidence needs to be thorough. So here in our flagship city, Stanton, Virginia, home of the Woodrow Wilson Presidential Library. Oh, we're so proud. Yeah, you can get in there a lot easier than you can get into Monticello, which is in our other flag, which is Charlottesville on the other side of the mountain we broadcast from. You can just walk in the door to the Wilson Library. They want you to access all the big government statism they can lay out for you. Jefferson, it's, no, we got to get a ticket and we'll bring you up on a bus and don't touch anything. But here in Stanton, they just arrested a 23-year-old former teacher's aide for having dalliances, let's just say, in case there are kids in the car. Mommy, what's a dalliance? Let's just say this teacher was live action role playing a Van Halen song with some of her students. And she was a teacher's aide in the school where the trouble kids go anyway. This is sort of, that school where the troublemakers get sent to when they can't stay. A really disruptive, violent and that kind of thing. So they get this, not reform school. That's old think, but this school for the bad kids. She was a teacher's aide, 22 years old. Like I said, living out the caricatures portrayed in certain Van Halen songs, if you know what I mean. And the alert was sent to the police a year ago. Did they arrest her then? Or did they collect evidence until enough evidence was collected and sorted and verified so that when they did arrest her, they could make the case stick? And that's the key in this. So I would rather wait a while than watch some SOB walk free on Epstein. Now, I know because of COVID and everything else, we don't trust the FBI, even when we get our own people involved. Let's not even begin with the queen of the red flags, Pam Bondi. So it's fair to be critical of them, but just saying, why didn't you walk in there on day one and just put a box of documents on the ground? Well, that's how people who deserve to be in jail for a very, very long time for their complicity in something go free. So I'm going to let them play out. They say they're doing it. I have no reason to doubt them any more than they are a government official. But if at the end of the day we don't find out who Jeffrey Epstein was and who he was working for, what were the confidential informants that they've admitted to in the January 6th riot? What were they doing? Who were their supervisors? Who were their handling officers? What were they asked to do? These are the questions that need to be answered, because I don't see any reason that somebody's prosecution would be impeded by knowing those things. Where did Jeffrey Epstein get all this money to buy an island from? We know a lot about the Steele dossier. I want to know more about COVID. But I'm going to let them, because they've promised to do it, and it's been 130 days, work on it, because I don't want people walking free that, like Tony take the shot, leave the cannoli Fauci, that should be facing retributions for their roles in this, to walk away scot-free because documents made it out into the press, tainting jury pools, giving people a heads up to take a flyer, hide in Greenland or some other place. I don't know what the extradition from Greenland is like. I'm sure it's prickly these days. So I understand, Joel, your concern about it, and it's fair, but it's also a media narrative you've got to be careful of.
Can you believe, with all the recent violent protests, looting, and destruction, some areas are considering either defunding or abolishing the police? At a time when America's neighborhoods need the protection of police the most, some elected officials would rather create more chaos by playing politics. If you're sick of elected officials caving in to demands of the radical left, you're not alone. It's time we stand up and declare our support for local police. The majority of police officers are important partners in protecting our God-given rights. If you prefer freedom over chaos, then learn how you can help protect the local police that serve your community. Call today and request your free Support Your Local Police info packet. Dial 800-JBS-USA-1. That's 800-JBS-USA-1. Request your free Support Your Local Police info packet by calling 800-JBS-USA-1 today.
And good Friday morning to you. It is May 30th, and it is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 6:45 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Forest Hill. Currently 68 degrees today. Get those air conditioners or swamp coolers ready, people. Looking for a high today of 92 degrees. All right, let's talk about another event for the calendar. That's right, we're talking about the 4th annual Forget Me Not dinner. Every seed of generosity blooms into a better tomorrow. Join the Forgotten Soldier program in supporting the transformation of veterans and first responders suffering from traumatic experiences. Now, this dinner was going to be held on June 21st, so there is still plenty of time to get your tickets. It's going to be a 5:30 to 6 p.m. check-in and opening, and then 6 o'clock to 9 is going to be the dinner. Now, you're not just going to get dinner for the price of your ticket. Gang, you are going to be treated to music by the band Control Alt Delete. That's right, you heard me. Control Alt Delete. There's going to be a catered dinner, raffle, and silent auction. It's all there. Producer Shane, this sounds like a pretty good deal.
It does.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's the Forget Me Not dinner. Now, tickets are available at ForgottenSoldierProgram.com, and they're $75 in advance purchase, or you can buy them at the door for $85. Now, the door, where is this door going to be? Well, it's going to be more of an outdoor door. It's going to be at the Armed Forces Pavilion and Community Gardens here in Auburn, just right down from the radio station here. That's at 995 Lincoln. Wait, now, if you've not been there, have you walked around there at all? Just right over here.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I need to visit it again.
It's absolutely fantastic. There's a labyrinth in the back there. Have you ever walked through that labyrinth?
I haven't yet.
It's very calming. If the kids are ever giving you guff during the day, just go out there and just walk through the labyrinth. It'll help you process through some stuff. Or just take the baby and maybe get the baby to sleep by just walking through the labyrinth. It's very, very cool. So anyway, it's the 4th annual Forget Me Not dinner. Every seed of generosity blooms into a better tomorrow. This is brought to you by the Forgotten Soldier program here in Placer County. They are a 501c3 nonprofit. You can call them 530-889-2300. Sponsors are welcome, so if you'd like to sponsor the event, give them a call, 530-889-2300. If you'd like to attend, tickets are online at ForgottenSoldierProgram.com. They are $75 in advance, or you can get them at the door for $85. And again, it's going to be at the Armed Forces Pavilion and Community Garden here in Auburn. And that's going to be Saturday, June 21st from 6 to 9 p.m. We'll be back with your KAHI News right after this.
The voice of the foothills is now the voice of the